Welcome to episode 7 of the 1964 Carver Boat Project. When we last left off with the transom back in episode 5, I had just finished temporarily installing the backing structure. In this episode, I finished fabrication of the transom and actually get it installed in the boat. As always, thanks for tuning in, and please feel free to comment below with any feedback on the project or the videos. Here is the new transom, pretty close to final size and shape. I've obviously not trimmed the top yet, but got it mocked up in here. It is not perfectly fit. The hull is sagging out just a little bit right now because it just doesn't have any support. So in fact, once I actually start fitting that up in there and pulling it in, the lines actually seem pretty darn good overall. I actually can't even really see daylight through there, which is nice. So all this work has been worth it. Something I've been struggling with is getting these internal floor frames and the keel all trimmed back nice and evenly, and then keeping them all in plane. They are at different heights, and then because they are at different planes of the hull, they also need to be cut at slightly different angles. So it's been a little bit of a juggling act trying to get them all lined up nicely. So I think I just have one more or a couple more small adjustments just to make sure I'm taking an even cut off the rear of the hull. But so far this is looking pretty good. there's the result of the work the other night, getting the backing support epoxied and screwed in place. Here is the transom currently. I've been sealing it with some penetrating epoxy. I was impatient and didn't order the kind of more old school boat builder stuff. I think the Smith's penetrating epoxy is supposed to be the jam. What I'm doing here today is going to finish sanding both sides, probably do one more dilute coat of the epoxy on this, and then get it finished prepping it for installation. I am debating, I think I'm going to trace out and cut the outboard hole as well as the drainage hole prior to installation, just so I can do it on a flat surface versus being mounted up in the boat. There is the transom mount for the outdrive finally in there. I luckily forgot to film the 10 tries to get it fit in properly. And my holes were off a little bit, and then I tried to tighten up the transom cutout a little bit, so I did have to go back and do a little trimming there, but really glad I decided to do this before the transom in the boat so I could fine tune this on a flat surface versus being at that angle. So I'm going to pull this out, set it back aside, and then finish sanding the transom and prepping it for a second coat on both sides of the penetrating epoxy. Today is the day where I get the new transom permanently installed in the boat. I have it here with one last test fit just to make sure my alignment and everything's good to go. And then I'm going to remove it and prep the surfaces for the adhesive and then start screwing it in.
Damn, making a commitment, huh, today?
It's happening. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I don't know what. But once it goes in, it doesn't come out. That's what I know.
So scary.
So I think it's going pretty well. There's always a little bit of stuff that you think's going to come together and doesn't quite come together perfectly, but looks like all my gaps are sealing up pretty good. I got the transom aligned. It's not perfect, but I think I'm within about a 1/16 of an inch, which I think is good enough for what we got going on here. So I'm reusing most of my screws I did buy for these floor timbers and the keel. I did put some brand new number 12 3-inch silicone bronze screws in. For the rest of it, I'm going to reuse as many of the old screws as possible. So these are little number 8 by 1.5 silicone bronze screws. So I'm just going to keep going around, pre-drill my holes. I did not put adhesive in this section of the hull. I am going to screw it, but I didn't put adhesive here because my plan is to replace these 2 bottom boards. I'm unable to flip the boat until I put some more structure back into it. So going to still temporarily fasten these boards into the transom, but did not put any adhesive there. Yeah, keep going. there it is, fully installed. Really excited to have this step done. That is going to do it for this episode of the Transom fabrication installation. In the next episode, I hope to tackle the cover boards and hopefully get them installed. Thanks for watching.